downloaded that. Always find us, too, on that local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station, and you can watch us. We are on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We are coming to you live, as mentioned today, from Brandon. They are celebrating their Jubilee days. It kicked off yesterday. It's going all day today, tomorrow, and Sunday. It is a weekend celebration for families and friends. You've got carnival rides. You've got delicious treats. You've got vendors for shopping. You've got music. And if you're feeling like getting in a little fitness in the morning, you have got the Jubilee Juke 10K. And joining us today is Tyler Boykin. He's with CoverSource Solutions. They are the presenting sponsor of the Jubilee Juke 10K. So welcome, Tyler.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Will you be running?
I was not built for speed or agility.
So the answer is no, but without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So why was it important for the local business like CoverSource Solutions to get connected with something like this or event within the city of Brandon?
I think personally, from my standpoint, being a local Brandon native, born and raised here, been here my whole life, have kids now kind of getting into that transition. It's always been close and dear to my heart with family ties to support the community, being a part of supporting Little League baseball teams or whatever the case might be, to kind of just give back, kind of after experiencing it myself and kind of giving that same back to the community so other kids can get to experience that as well.
That's what we always say here on Good Things is when you shop local, it's giving right back to you in some respect in terms of the ways that those businesses give their time, energy, and talents back into the community. For you guys, you are helping to make the 10K possible. I know they wanted us to make sure that folks knew that we've got about 100 registered at the moment, which I think is pretty cool for the first 10K or the first run to be added to this event. It goes to show you that people really enjoy that element when it comes to having that opportunity, but that they can still register in the morning. So, Tyler, if you feel like the Lord leads you to change your mind, you can come right here to the box offices, I think, in the morning and still have time to register for that 10K. I also know you guys are part of what's helped drive that $11,000 for the Mayor's Youth Council. Again, giving back and giving kids that opportunity. Knowing that you work in the city, you live in the city, your kids go here, do you like that idea of kids getting involved back into their civic community through like the youth council?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's hugely important for a child or a preteen, however you want to call it, to get involved with the community. I think building relationships is huge. I mean, over my 18-year career, relationships is what's been able to feed my family and pay my bills. So I do think that's vital.
Yeah. I think it's cool that you guys have a piece in that. Okay, so CoverSource Solutions. You guys are local. I see that you're AC and plumbing, two very vital things that people and families need. And really, we don't want to see y'all, but when we need y'all, man, we are right. So glad you are there, as well as moving into these warmer months here in Mississippi. Tell us a little bit of background, though, of your business. How did you guys get started? Maybe what exactly is your mission and vision?
We first of all, I would not be here without the group of guys that are behind me. We have an unbelievable team, very family-oriented team. The two owners themselves are unbelievable, two of the greatest men I've ever met in my life. And I'm glad to get the opportunity to work side by side with them every day. But like you said, we are a residential and commercial heating and air conditioning, cooling, and we also are a plumbing contractor. So like you said, most people don't want to
have to call the plumber.
Don't want to see us or call us.
Nobody wants that day where it's like I wake up and like, oh, you know what I want to do today? I want to have to call my plumber later, because usually it's not a good situation.
It's not, but we pride ourselves in being honest and forthcoming up front. We don't want any secrets. We want to let you know what the problem is on the front end, and then we'll go about a best idea or a best practice to try to figure out how to solve it as cheaply and as efficiently as possible.
As we're coming up again, I say into these, it feels like this is going to be y'all's, marathon. It's not a sprint, or maybe it feels like a sprint through the summer for you guys, but it also feels like a sweaty marathon as well. For homeowners listening, though, Tyler, I mean, are there things right now they should be thinking about while the temperature is still in the 80s before the temperatures reach into the Hundreds.
Yeah, right. Well, I always tell people I don't like telling people how to spend their money.
No, yeah, but what you would advise, or things to think about.
Not trying to be too much of a salesman, I would strongly recommend before it gets too much hotter, if you've got an older HVAC system, doing a spring maintenance, doing a tune-up on that.
What does that entail? I mean, I don't think you're being a salesman. I think you're giving your advice, and if people take it, that's great. If they don't have to. But like from that perspective, what does a tune-up or a maintenance look like for older units? I guarantee you there's somebody listening that was like, I've never been told that. Or done that.
So for us, if they were to schedule a maintenance through CoverSource Solutions, we would send a technician out. It's a 25-point checklist inspection, basically where we go from the top to the bottom. We checked anything from the duct side of it, the ductwork side of it, to the equipment, refrigerant, airflow, efficiency. We'll check all the components, make sure they're all within specs of electrical ratings, just to make sure that it's running as efficiently as it can before brutal temperatures go out. We do a coil cleaning where we physically use a chemical combine to spray on the coils to make sure there's no debris, dirt, grass shavings, anything like that. We do highly recommend a 1-month filter change. I know some people...
so like every month you change your filter?
100%.
Is that for every unit, or is that for units older than me?
I would I would definitely recommend it for every unit. The manufacturer states every 6 weeks, but with high foot traffic, little children.
So is this okay? So now, Tyler, I'm thinking. Okay, you're talking about like in your home, or is there like one on your unit that I didn't know about?
No, just the one that's in your home.
Okay. So you have usually most people now. I'm like, okay, I've heard of that. So now you have like 3 or 4. Now they're like 3 or 4 usually in a home, or 2 or 3.
Correct.
In that way. So every month, at least during the hottest months, we should be changing those.
Absolutely. So you got to think about it like this. Speaking of the 10K, people are going to be running tomorrow, walking, jogging, running, all that. Imagine running the 10K breathing normally, and then imagine that. Imagine starting over running, breathing through a McDonald's straw.
Oh.
So you want to be... You don't want any kind of restriction. You create a restriction, you create a problem. You're going to get less efficiency, not as good of split temperatures on the cooling side of things, and it'll just cause all kind of issues.
And I'm assuming these are compound things, like it may not, this summer it may not be an issue, but then as the unit sort of works harder and harder and harder eventually.
Right.
So you're just kicking the can down the road if you do those maintenance things every month during the warmest months.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you somebody listening would rather switch that out monthly than have to call and kick that down the road than have to call and have like a big repair.
Yeah.
Or just have, I guess, more efficiency with their heating and cooling. Right?
Yeah. And the more efficient the unit runs, the less that meter spends on the end of your house.
So how are you
win-win.
feel about being a marriage counselor?
I don't think I was born to do that by any means.
Well, there's always a big debate come this time of year between family households, or maybe I'm asking for a friend. When you leave the house, do you leave the air, like say you leave it on 70, so it's always on 70, or do you bump it up to like 73, 74, and then come home and knock it down? Which is the most energy efficient, Tyler?
So we've actually tested these things in the past.
So you are qualified to be a marriage counselor.
I would never, ever tell anybody or recommend cutting the unit off, ever.
Okay.
We typically tell our customers, if you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, within like a 2 to 3 degree window, bump it up 2 to 3 degrees.
What's extended time? 4 hours, 8 hours, 8 days?
Oh, no, I'm talking about days, days in advance. I would never cut the unit off because usually, if you're outside all day, yard work, beach, pool, whatever, you get back home, you want cold air. You want cold air. But if it's been off and it's now 78, 80 degrees in the house and you don't get it right then, you're going to call in saying, I've got a problem, when really
you don't.
You don't.
Needs it.
But a good thing is with setbacks and drawbacks now in today's market is a smart thermostat. A Wi-Fi thermostat that you can control from your tablet, laptop, phone.
So you can bump it down on your way home.
You can have total control. If you've got a cell phone signal anywhere on the globe, you can have full access and full control of your
Is that
thermostat.
something you guys can incorporate with a lot of different types of models that are already in homes?
Any brand piece of equipment that's out there.
If somebody has AC, heat, or plumbing concerns or questions, how do they get in touch with you guys, Tyler, at CoverSource Solutions?
So they can reach us on our website, CoverSourceSolutions.com, or they can reach out to us by email. My email is tyler@CoverSourceSolutions.com. We've also got an email that's info@CoverSourceSolutions.com, or they can just dial us directly on our phone number, 601-680-9252.
All righty. Will you guys be out and about with the 10K in the morning?
We will. We will actually have a tent set up out front with some cool handouts, some freebies, gimmies, and all that. And
Free marriage counseling.
that's right. That's right.
When it comes to your heating and AC.
That's right. Be glad to talk business or fun with anybody that wants to stop by and say hello.
And if you still want to sign up for that 10K or 3K, you can. You can sign up now, but you can also sign up in the morning, come out and enjoy the fun, and stick with us. We got a few more good things for you.